Yay!
Hey, there we go. Hey,
All right.
I don't know, man. It's just time to drink. I think that's it. We just finished the 2018 State of Despair, the first and hopefully last ever presidential State of the Union by
HDL.
HDL. No, that's terrible.
No,
that's
no,
terrible.
we wouldn't want him to.
Impeachment.
That's not going to happen.
Sorry, I had a little Russia in my throat. That
kidding?
was terrible.
Who are you kidding,
How that
man?
happens. That's bad. It's
that's
real
great.
bad. So, State of the Union was delivered. That's every year for those of us, for anybody that's not American. First, congratulations. That's great for you. Fuck off. We're going to bomb you at some point, probably. I don't know. It's just, we're fucked. So, but that's, it's a tradition, the president's supposed to, from time to time, deliver to Congress a speech giving the State of the Union. So it's become tradition for them to say hopeful and evidently masturbatory things.
While the audience just keeps on sitting and standing and sitting and standing.
Right? At what point, I didn't see any of them get up and take the bread and grape juice. I don't know
I know,
what point that was.
At what point are they supposed to blow the priest? Like, when does that happen?
When they're young.
Yeah.
When they're very young. When
He's
they're
just-
wee little junior
He's just
senators.
got like a big Halloween pumpkin filled with like fun-sized Snickers. He's just ready to give to the kids.
Oh, my God.
Well,
There we go, buddy.
We've got some clips we want to play. We want to talk a little bit
Can
about.
I drink before we listen to him again?
Absolutely. We want to talk a little bit about it. What are your impressions, like off the top of your head? What are your impressions of the?
I like the
State of the Union?
unexpectedly liberal shit he said.
Yeah,
And
right.
there was a number
and there
of
was
things.
a lot of it. Yeah.
I want to start off with what I thought. Where I want to give credit where it's due. First of all, there were parts of the four pillars of the immigration plan that is never going to happen. That I really like. There was a number
and
of
there was
things.
a lot of it. Yeah,
I want to start off
Sorry,
with. That's all right.
I'm sorry.
I want to give credit where
I got to mute us. There we
It's
go.
like a mirror looking at a mirror.
Jesus, I'm trying to get the comments open, and it's just like, no, this is us. Fucking A. We're new at this.
We're
Don't
trying.
yell at me.
We're trying.
Don't you yell at me.
like to see you do better.
Oh my God, that
Like to
fucking
do
kill
better.
it. Oh God.
No, there were some parts of the plans or whatever that are never going to happen that I like. I like the idea of spending $1 trillion on infrastructure. I think we should pay for it with fucking wooden nickels or whatever we're going to fucking use.
No shit.
But I think that if we could actually accomplish that, that would be great.
Yeah,
I think,
and the Democrats stood up and cheered for that, right?
Right.
Like they stood up and they did their little handy clappy thing because they were excited about infrastructure too. Where are we going to go all the money? We just gave fucking massive tax cuts. Where's the money?
literally, who knows where it's going to come from or how it's going to happen.
That's back again.
Okay.
It did a
bad thing.
did an off
All
and
right.
then an on.
Well, there we go. I like the idea of the infrastructure plan. I like the idea of giving a pathway to citizenship for 1.8 million undocumented
Absolutely.
immigrants that are here
Yeah,
by
yeah,
virtue of their
for
parents
sure.
having brought them here. I liked the idea of lowering the cost of prescription drugs. I think that sounds
Sure.
it sounds like a generally positive thing.
Sure.
There's no plan attached to
Yeah.
it. And that's the thing. And again, I understand this is the State of the Union, right? So it's not the time to lay out a plan. But also, there's no fucking plan, right? There's no plan. It's just like, we're going to do this stuff. Here's the stuff we're going to do. It's going to be so done when we do it. It's like, I just have no faith that he's actually going to accomplish any of this shit.
Right.
There were a couple other things that I tweeted out that I thought, like, okay, some of this sounds really positive. There was a lot that I found distressingly otherizing and racist.
Absolutely. All the immigrant stuff that we need to be afraid of immigrant stuff, which is like 10 or 15 minutes of his speech, which is just
my
like,
God,
hey guys, just so you know, there's creepy immigrants and they're in your bushes, that
right.
he basically spent 15 minutes talking about how terrible immigrants are.
Right.
Right. But right before then, he's like, oh yeah, we're going to totally let them.
We're gonna give a pathway to citizenship for some of them. Also, most of them are gonna kill your daughter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he has this. Like, he parades about all these people and is like, I brought this family in, and their daughters were killed by MS-13. We looked it up. Their daughters were killed by MS-13. It is a fucking tragedy. I did think it was interesting that Evelyn Rodriguez, the mother of one of the girls, did not want the death of her daughter to be politicized, and basically said
late.
that. Right, I know.
Yeah.
And also, why'd you go? But and also said that, really the root of this conflict was not the fact that these were illegal immigrants. The root of the conflict was that they all went to a school that was grossly under-resourced and underfunded.
Sure, yeah.
Right? And so that's really what she's pushing for. And when you read the story of what happened, they got into a fight on social media. The murdered women and these gang members, they got into a fight over social media. The gang members saw them walking down the street and jumped and killed them. It was not because they were illegal immigrants. Their status as illegal immigrants has virtually nothing to do with what happened.
Yeah.
In fact, these girls were not even involved in gang activity. So saying like, oh, they're part of this horrible gang. Well, they were part of this horrible gang. And MS-13 is a dangerous and deadly organization, right? Yeah. It should be eradicated. You get nothing from me about that. But this was a personal thing. Like this one example, the example that's trotted out to tug at your heartstrings so that you have an emotional rather than rational response. When you look into it even very briefly, it's like, it's actually like most human dynamics, slightly more complicated than that.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you want to? I think we're going to play some clips here, so we can get some of the stuff that he talked about.
Yeah. Let's.
If we can't hear the clips, let us know in the comments on Facebook, folks. I'm going to try to play a few of these here.
I'm just glad we get to listen to his shitty voice again.
I'm not going to go in order or chronological order. I'm just going to grab stuff and start talking about this. He's talking about an American worker here.
Oh, my God. Oh, the black guy?
This is the black guy.
The black guy? The one black guy in the whole audience? The one black guy!
There's like 6. Come on.
Right.
They were scattered, though. They didn't want them near each other to start a riot.
Yeah.
So.
They were asked to be the color guard.
Color guard?
What that means.
Employees. Corey Adams is also with us tonight. Corey is an all-American worker.
I don't even know. What does that even mean?
What? What does he have, the letter jacket for America? I'm an all-American worker.
He's got leather sleeves with that cloth.
Yeah. He's got the pins like to say like go manufacturing or something.
He's going steady with his welder.
He supported himself through high school. Lost his job during the 2008 recession.
Way to go!
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, I'm not sure.
2008 recession, huh? What was it that brought that on? 2008. Who was in office in 2008? Let me think.
It is a dilly of a pickle.
Anyway, we'll think of it some other. We'll think of it some other time. It's fine.
And was deregulated banking systems.
It might have been.
Wasn't it?
Might have been. Probably Clinton's fault.
Wasn't it unregulated lending?
I think we should blame it on Carter.
Whatever. Hired by Staub, where he trained to become a welder. Like many hardworking Americans,
he worked hard.
Corey plans to invest his tax cut raise into his new home and his 2 daughters' education. Corey, please stand.
What was he gonna buy? Like 3 textbooks and a fucking.
It's not a lot.
Lazy
of money.
boy.
It's not a lot of money. He was talking about it being $4,000 on average, I think.
Right. Yeah.
But that
Okay, so even if let's say it is, because I think that's a generous example. Obviously, the taxes are complicated. Your tax cuts, like your mileage, may vary, right? But let's say it's $4,000. I'm not sneezing at $4,000, but you're going to invest $4,000 in your home and the educations of 2 people?
Yeah.
You can't buy any of those things. You can buy neither a home.
You can't even buy a single class at a junior college for $4,000. Are you kidding me?
What the fuck do you buy?
I don't know.
And the educational,
they're making it sound like you're fucking like he's Scrooge McDuck now.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
He's going to dive into his giant tax return and backstroke through
it would work the same way as if he actually dived into the vault of coins, just and die.
And then his kids can go to college because he had life insurance.
Exactly, because swimming through the money is as much of a myth as this fucking tax cut.
All right, so this is another one. This is Americans Are Dreamers too, Tom.
And the sacred duty of every elected official in this chamber is to defend Americans, to protect their safety, their families, their communities, and their right to the American dream. Because Americans are dreamers too.
As long as they're white Americans, not the ones that we don't like that are like South Brown. We don't like the South Brown.
Whatever it is.
Ones.
If they're.
That's not the ones we like.
If they like tacos, we don't like that. No, but I mean, that's a huge slap in the face. What he's trying to say is like, look, this is for this place here. This is Americans' place. This is for us. There's that, and even if you were brought here against your will as a kid, doesn't matter. We want to make sure you go away.
Right. Well, yeah, and it's funny because he later contradicts,
of course,
that same message. But like the idea is like Americans are dreamers too. He's sort of suggesting that like, well, Americans deserve the same rights and privileges that
as
we're not giving
Americans.
to illegal immigrants, right? Because it's that narrative that like there's some kind of special,
Sure.
Privilege that's given to these illegal immigrants. That they get like, free blowjobs. I don't know what he thinks they get. I don't know what he thinks they get.
Well, they waste American tax dollars. They don't put anything into the system.
Not true.
They take American jobs. They don't pay taxes.
Yeah.
I mean, those are like the
Americans also want to work in a meatpacking plant for fucking $2.83 an hour.
Andrews asked, was today Taco Tuesday? Fucking A, it was Taco Tuesday. It's always Taco Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, right?
All right. The next one is my favorite myth that he brought up.
The fourth and final pillar protects the nuclear family by ending chain migration.
Yeah, that's just a bunch of bullshit.
Right.
Chain migration is a way to dehumanize people by mentioning them as chain to say chain migration.
It's like saying anchor
dehumanizes
baby.
It dehumanizes
Right,
the people.
right.
And they don't do that, right? They migrate to the United States, and then yes, they can get their immediate family here, but the other people that they want, if they want to try to get people in, takes a really long time for them to get in, and turns out people just don't want to leave their home country, right?
It's a bullshit myth that everybody just wants to move to America, right? Like, not everybody wants to move to America. I also like, he's like, well, we want to protect the nuclear family. It's like, really? Because that's hardly real either, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like the nuclear family is hardly even
for
real.
Sure.
And I only bring that up, although it's funny. It's like because it speaks to this fucking Mayberry myth,
right?
And the Republicans love the Mayberry myth. And the scary undocumented immigrant is anathema to the Mayberry myth. It doesn't fit anywhere in there, right? And so what he's trying to do is say, like, look, if we let one in, we've let 100 in, right? It's you crack the door open a little bit, and they're gonna have their fucking second cousin 3 times removed show up and take your fucking job.
Sure. Yeah, no, and it makes this other myth that there's just like this. This starting line of fucking migrants outside waiting for that fucking gun to go off so they can run as fast as they can and scale the fence that we have down there and, try to...
Well, they don't have to, right? Because he's saying like, oh, we're just letting them.
We're just letting. I know what you're saying. But what I'm saying is like they're ready to get in. They're ready to come in immediately as soon as somebody just says, go.
You're not supposed to come immediately. That's just fucking bad manners.
All right, next one. God spoke to me.
When Ryan told her she was going to harm her unborn child,
this story.
She began to weep. She told him she didn't know where to turn, but badly wanted a safe home for her baby. In that moment, Ryan said he felt God speak to him. You will do it because you can. He heard those words.
And this is the story. He told a little story, a very sweet story of a out on the street, homeless person ready to shoot up.
Right.
And then this guy comes by and says, I'll take your baby. They never really tell you what happened to the mother in that story.
Right, like that's the part that kills me.
But they definitely talk about the baby. The baby goes home with these 2 people. They don't. First, they make them stand up for no reason. We were just like, why are they standing? We don't even know.
Everybody starts clapping as soon as they realize there's a cop in the room. Right. Like, there we go. We all go.
They don't even know why they're standing or why they're clapping, and then they start talking about, oh, hey, this baby, there's this baby, and they have this baby now, and I think I don't know if she's breastfeeding or not, I don't know, but she's sitting up in the audience, and everybody's clapping about this baby, but I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what happened to the woman? Like we're talking,
we don't care.
That's the thing. Nobody in the room gave a fuck about the person who's out on the street.
That story is a horrible story.
It is. It's not.
It's a horrible.
It's not uplifting.
It's not the story of a man who rescued a baby from dire circumstances. It is the story of a man who abandoned somebody in dire need and took their baby from them.
Right.
That's what happened. It's a story about how America throws away the impoverished.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
We do. We throw away, we throw people away in this country. We have no social safety net of any significance. And rather than looking at that and being fucking appalled by the message that we even have homeless people, and that this homeless person doesn't know where to turn, instead of saying, well, here's where you turn to help you with it, get resources, get a home, get off drugs, do all these things. Instead, it's like, look, I can take your baby.
Yeah.
I can take your baby. And then you can go die cold and alone.
Then you can shoot up whatever you want after I have the baby. All right, here's a great part of this. This is where he made sure to emphasize our national motto.
In America, we know that faith and family, not government and bureaucracy, are the center of American life. The motto is, "In God we trust."
Oh. That's the hard pander, dude. That's the
so,
hardest pander.
So good.
That pander throbs.
Yeah.
That pander bounces with a heartbeat. That pander is that
He
hard.
just reaches in the audience and he's just massaging groins. He's just working his way
Mike
through.
Pence made me say this. Otherwise, he'll have facial features and nobody wants to see what they might be.
When did the motto come into effect? Like, it wasn't initial. I know that. It wasn't initially our motto. Someone in the chat will know.
Yeah, someone.
And you're right, it's not our motto. It's something else. It's like it's another word for it though, right? It's on our money. But you're
is
right.
it our motto?
That's it. E pluribus unum is our motto, isn't it?
I thought that was what was on our money.
Yeah, but so is In God We Trust.
Well, how do we know which one's the motto?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm asking legitimately.
Yeah,
I don't know which one is the what is, and if the other one's not our motto, is it just something in Latin we like? Like, oh, that sounds cool.
Andrew says which God, and that's exactly what Tom said.
Right, that's what I tweeted.
Tom was like, which God.
All right.
Utah Outcast says it's a slogan. Okay, maybe. It was the 50s. I know. I thought it was in the 50s.
It was a response to communism.
That we had put it on the money specifically. It's not been there forever.
Right.
And we did it in response to the godless communists.
But I guess it's fucking here to stay.
Yeah, paper money in the 50s is what people are saying. Okay. So thanks,
Does that make it our motto, or does that just make it something we write on our money?
Yeah, Peggy says e pluribus unum, which means I have herpes, I think, in Latin. But yeah, I mean, it was in our money. It was on our money. But you're right. It's just a hard pander, right? It doesn't have any bearing in government whatsoever.
Because what do you do with it, right? Yeah. Like, what do you do with it? You repeal the Johnson Amendment. You give all the pastors a fucking hard-on so that they'll stand at the podium or lectern or whatever it is, the pulpit, and they'll tell all their congregations to fucking vote red. And they were going to vote fucking red anyway.
Right. This is the part. Here's a part where I think he's trying to shame black people. Let me see if this is the same part.
Oh, this would be the beginning. And then
Preston's reverence for those who have served our nation reminds us of why we salute our flag, why we put our hands on our hearts for the Pledge of Allegiance, and why we proudly stand for the national anthem.
And you fucking better do it.
You better do it.
You better do it.
Yeah.
Because a quiet, peaceful protest is un-American. Wait, no, that's actually.
I mean, you can hear the crowd too. Just
they eat that shit up. They eat that shit up.
They love it so much.
Yeah.
That was another part of his speech that sort of had a lot of, he kept working his way, that thread through the entire piece, which is, you should stand for the pledge. You should respect our country.
But that's because this whole platform is based on the virtues of hyper-nationalism, right? Like this whole Make America Great Again. The whole idea is that hyper-nationalism and uber-patriotism is a virtue. It's a personal virtue as well as a national virtue.
Yeah, Amanda says that hand on the heart thing is weird. Sorry, Americans.
Wow. It is weird.
The pledge is weird. The pledge is a weird
it's so
thing.
Weird.
I said it every day. I don't think I said it in high school, but I thought for sure I said it like through grade school, like through like year 8. If you're not an American, like through like year 8 of school, I'm pretty sure I said it every morning.
We said it when I was at CPS, Chicago Public Schools. When I moved to the suburbs in 5th grade, they stopped doing the pledge. And I didn't do the pledge 5th grade forward. So, but yeah, man, the pledge is fucking weird.
Maybe 5th grade, although I thought I did it in junior high. I don't remember, but
I know I didn't do it.
I've flushed that shit from the Rams.
Right?
I
Yeah,
don't
junior high
fucking
was
have
so
that
long ago.
anymore.
Are you kidding me? Those
Yeah.
buildings are crumbled. They're fucking ruins. You can take a bus tour
teachers.
to where you went to
The only
school.
thing that's left of those teachers are teeth at this point. There's some subtleness to this too. This is where he's talking about poverty to prosperity.
We want every American to know the dignity of a hard day's work. We want every child to be safe in their home at night. And we want every citizen to be proud of this land that we all love so much. We can lift our citizens from welfare to work, from dependence to independence, and from poverty to prosperity.
There's a part
How?
there. Well, there's a part there where he says like, we want everybody to love this country. Like if you have, there's like this, it's like implied that if you're not a productive person who works, then
Right.
you just don't have like these other traits.
Yeah, your love of country is measured by your contribution to the GDP.
Yeah, yeah.
That's built into that
Sure.
what he's saying. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that there's a part of this guy, which is most of this guy, who would say that like you can tell how much he loves the country because he's worth so much money. Like
Yeah, right, and that's the mantra of everybody who's talking about how great a president he is how much look at how successful he is.
Right.
Yeah.
But this idea that you can take everybody from welfare to wealth, from dependence to independence. Okay, fine. How the fuck are you going to do that?
Yeah.
Because we're waging war on the poor. We're not waging war on poverty.
Yeah.
We have not waged war on poverty the same way we waged war unsuccessfully on drugs.
on drugs, yeah.
Right? We've not waged war on poverty the same way we waged war on Iraq or Afghanistan.
Sure, yeah.
We didn't pour that kind of money into reducing poverty, into increasing educational opportunities, into doing. That was another thing that he said. I was pro. Like if he wants to create additional vocational training opportunities and additional educational opportunities, I'm all for that. That's a great idea. But let's spend the fucking money to do it.
Right.
Don't just
Right.
say it.
Well, yeah, I mean, the vocational opportunities, both of us looked at each other and said, that would be a great thing.
Yeah.
It would be great to have opportunities for people who are disadvantaged in this country to take advantage of and to get real income and real work. That would be awesome.
Let's
do
put the money in it.
Again, we're cutting taxes. Where's the money coming
Well, we
from?
constantly cut in education.
Yeah.
That's the thing that makes me crazy about that shit, is we are constantly
Yeah.
cutting in education. We reach into the fucking pocket of education all the time when there's a goddamn Republican in office. And then like, well, we need, more smarty pantses. And it's like,
Right.
well, where the fuck? You gotta make them. You gotta make them. Or you gotta let them in from outside the country. If you're not letting people in and you're not building them, we're just keeping the stupid people.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. All right, this was a part that was a little infuriating. It took him 9 minutes to mention this.
We heard about Americans like firefighter David Dahlberg. He's here with us also. David faced down walls of flame to rescue almost 60 children trapped at a California summer camp threatened by those devastating wildfires.
Caused by climate change.
Yeah.
To everyone still recovering in Texas, Florida, Louisiana, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands, everywhere, we are with you, we love you, and we always will pull through together, always.
Yeah, except for the people in Puerto Rico can't hear you right now
Right.
because they don't have power. And
4
they haven't
months,
had
4.5
power
months.
since the hurricane came through 4 months ago.
I the balls to mention that, like, we're with you. Really?
Yeah.
4.5 months we've been without fucking electricity
Yep.
in huge parts of this fucking devastated island. If this was fucking Connecticut, this would not have
absolutely
happened
not.
like this.
Absolutely not. And the fucking I realized that their infrastructure couldn't handle that storm, right? I realized there's some real problems. They had some real problems with their infrastructure.
And there's some problems with corruption. I have heard that there are some
Absolutely.
significant problems with corruption down there.
Yeah. But we flew down there, and then he got into a Twitter fight
I know.
with the mayor
governor
of
or
San
whatever,
Juan
yeah.
or
Right,
whatever.
yeah.
Like
Right,
he got into a Twitter fight with
Right.
that person because he's a petulant little shit. And he doesn't care about those people. What he cares about is if it can make him look good. That's what he cares about.
That's it. And the thing is, like, I think he thinks that Puerto Rico can't make him look bad.
Right.
Because I think he thinks, and rightly so, that his voting base doesn't give a shit about Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, why am I going to spend my fucking time and energy on this goddamn national tragedy? It's like, it's not worth the time, energy, or effort.
All right, here's another piece. This is where he's talking about the flag.
Tonight, I want to talk about what kind of future we're going to have and what kind of a nation we're going to be. All of us together as one team, one people, and one American family can do anything. We all share the same home, the same heart,
Except for that homeless
the
lady.
same destiny,
Yeah.
and the same great American flag.
What the fuck is that?
We all got a good. We got the best
We
flag.
all have the same home, except for the poor people. They don't have.
They
a
don't
home.
have one.
Yeah.
We all have the best flag, the Kyrgyzstan
Yeah.
flag. It's so great. You're gonna love it. It's like a green Nazi flag, but
looks
it's
like-
not
yeah, but
Nazi
it's not.
because it's an
Yeah.
ironic,
It's ironic
hipster Nazi.
It's ironic Nazi.
It's an ironic
Yeah.
alt-right
You gotta-
hipster Nazis. You guys don't get it.
Yeah.
You're not hilarious like that.
This was one of my favorite parts, just out of nowhere.
Gleaming new roads, bridges, highways, railways, and waterways all across our land.
What? What are we gonna build the fucking I&M Canal again?
There's a chicken in
It's
every
like
pot
fucking-
and a river in every backyard.
It's a horse pulling a barge. It's gotta go through the locks and you whip the damn thing.
Well, we don't have enough lakes. We need to build more lakes, the greatest lakes.
Waterways.
We're just gonna build canals that just connect everything.
Haven't we figured out the waterway thing yet?
We're just gonna make America Venice.
You know what we need is a high-speed waterway. You just get on one of those boats.
Oh, God, it's so fast.
Oh, I gotta take a fucking Klonopin before I get on a plane. Holy shit. You have to fucking shoot me up before I get on one of those boats.
If we shoot you up, we'll have to take your baby.
God. You can't take my baby. A dingo ate my baby. Here's another part about terrorism.
And
Hold on.
All right.
Hold on. We got a good comment here. Paul Andrews says the Aquabahn. It's basically I-80, except for it's a big
Road.
fucking canal that goes
God.
from one part of the
I'm
country
thinking of
to the
that
other.
Simpsons episode with Nightboat. Like Nightboat would be so happy.
There's always a fjord. Nightboat. That's fucking awesome. God. Fucking waterways. Oh, fuck, man.
Build more waterways. All right. Just put him back in the fucking Barco Lounger.
Is Tom, he looks like he's kind of off for me. Is he off for you guys? Is he a little off the screen a little?
I'm on the screen. I don't know. Well, I broke the fucking chair.
I know,
so
you broke the fucking
I gotta
chair.
go hopsies to get on. I fucking broke the wheels on this thing because it wasn't strong.
All right, so this is my favorite, just random part about ISIS.
All right.
And when captured overseas, they should be treated like the terrorists they are. In the past, we have foolishly released hundreds and hundreds of dangerous terrorists, only to meet them again on the battlefield, including the ISIS leader, al-Baghdadi, who we captured, who we had, who we released.
In 2004.
Shh, don't blow
Who
the
was in
narrative.
office in 2004?
Let's see, it was not a Democrat.
Carter.
That's for sure.
I think we can safely blame everything on Carter at this point.
Why not? Just
Yeah.
just like fucking Habitat for Humanity. We'll just blame because he's actually.
That al-Baghdadi thing has that, it has that ring where he's trying desperately to point out the incompetencies of the previous administrations. But what he fails to do when he says that is he fucking points out the fucking incompetencies of fucking George W. Bush.
Right. Who created ISIS by unjustly invading Iraq, looking for WMDs that didn't exist, and creating a power vacuum that ISIS rushed to fill.
Right.
Like, all of that was their side. But even so, like someone's gotta fix it or fucking not fix it or blow it all up or whatever, however you solve that fucking shit. But like pointing this out doesn't do his argument any favors. Well, I mean, he's coming out and saying like, look, I want to torture people.
Yeah, that's what that
I
whole
really
piece was
super
about.
want to torture people.
Yeah, it was absolutely about,
right.
He's talking about enemy combatants. He's going out of his way to mention like, look, when we torture these people, I just don't want you to come back to
right.
me. You know, I want to make sure that when we waterboard these people to near death and make them insane,
right,
I did it because I love you.
Right. Well, he's got that, part of it though is he's got that narrative. Like he talks later in another part of the speech. He's like, yeah, how'd you accomplish it? Well, we were just tougher than they are, right? He's got that like tough guys finish first kind of an attitude.
Sure,
right?
absolutely, yeah.
And to be honest, to some degree, tough guys finish real fucking high up in the hierarchy a lot of times. The problem with using torture is it's not a tough guy tactic, right? There's nothing tough guy about that. It's not a matter of like, I caught this guy and I tortured him and then it's 24, so he told me where the bombs were hidden.
Sure, yeah.
That's not how any of this shit works. So we know that torture is not effective. We know it. And we know we don't always get the right guy. And the thing is, like, if you get the wrong guy and then you torture that guy, you tortured a guy who's no different than you.
Right.
So, like, unless you're okay with the idea of being accidentally detained for life and tortured sometimes, unless that's an idea that you find stomachable or palatable, this is a real hard sell for me.
I'm in the same boat. It feels like, torture doesn't ever do anything that they say it does, right? It never has the effects that they say it does.
Right.
And the people that are tortured, sometimes if you get the wrong one, you can make a terrorist. Especially if you get the wrong one and you're just like, yeah, we got the wrong one, let's let him go. And then you spend a lot of time torturing that person.
He's not going to be like, we're cool, bro.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah,
Thanks for letting me go, guys.
Honest mistake. It could happen to anybody. Happened to me, but it could have happened to anybody. But it didn't.
Right.
I want to point out that it happened specifically.
Literally happened to me.
To me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So this is of course near the end. One of my favorite parts.
This Capitol, this living monument, this is the monument to the American people.
I don't know what that means. Show us your boobs! Show us your boobs! I got beads for boobs! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are we going Girls Gone Wild next? Is this fucking Senate, the spring break edition? We're just chanting USA? What are we, we have an IQ of 62?
What else would you chant there?
You don't chant things! Chanting is for idiots! Nobody smart has ever chanted anything ever! Nobody with an IQ with 3 fucking digits in it has ever chanted a single thing one time! Chanting is for morons! Morons.
I wish that like a few people would have just started chanting Mexico though. Just a few. Or like NAFTA.
USSR! Wait, that's gone now. Russia. Okay.
Yeah, I guess that is gone.
Yeah, right? Putin. Fucking kidding me?
That was
chanting
awesome. That was
things?
awesome. That was genuinely awesome though. Yeah.
They're going to shoot fucking MAGA shirts out with a t-shirt gun into the fucking Senate floor because we're being run by fucking 4th graders.
And he spent the entire speech he's locked this way, looking directly at the Republicans the whole time. He never even looks to even over his shoulder. Like once or twice he turned, but only in kind of like a ha sort of way to go backwards this way.
Fucking that Sir fucking smirks a lot shit that he does.
Yeah.
God. He's detestable. Detestable.
Oh, well, let's see. What's coming up for us? We got Seth Andrews in studio.
We do.
For 400. That's coming up.
That was a lot of fun. Seth was a very, very gracious guest.
It might be 400 and 401 too. We'll see. We're going to try to have... we're going to see if we can maybe extend it. We got about 2 hours and 15 minutes worth of type out of Seth, and we'll see where that goes. We have one more show to record between now and then. We'll have 399, then our big 400th show. But that's all. That's
all we've got in the pipeline right now. Then it's just us for a while. We're getting we've got some big stuff that we're kind of trying to cook up for 2018. Ian is doing a great job helping us out with that. I think we're
for sure.
both really grateful for his assistance. So that's it.
I thought he was just let's see. I thought he was just that laser focused on the teleprompter. Well, they have the teleprompter on both sides of him, though, don't they? Don't they have the teleprompter like normally, synchronized on both sides so he can constantly go back and forth? Yeah, maybe he was just focused on one. Maybe just one of those.
Maybe nobody. I did for a second. The screen started to dim, so I touched it in order for it to come back to life. But then
that was weird.
I
know. Well, I think we're going to record it. We have to record our whole show now. Still.
We do.
So
it's only 11:06 o'clock.
Yeah, I know.
So
we're going to be done at like midnight. It's going to be one of those cackling ones where we laugh like crazy. So
we've had worse days.
All right. So catch us. We're going to try to release this, I think, as maybe a short show. We'll see. I don't know how long. How long did it turn out to be? I can't see. Anyway, we'll probably release this as a short show, and it might come out in a week or so. I don't know. We don't want to mess up our schedule because we got the $3.99 and the $400 sort of scheduled out. So.
Well, we can throw it out on a Thursday or something.
Yeah, but I don't want to throw a number on it. So I got to wait until after the 401s. So
it's all you, man. I get the numbering wrong every time.
I know. You're going to get it wrong in a few minutes.
I am.
All right, we're going to leave you guys. We had fun watching. No, we didn't.
No.
We didn't have any fun.
We had drinks.
We did have drinks, and we ate food. So, so thanks for watching stream. We'll catch you guys soon, maybe next week.